This final evaluation will serve to measure how well each action was performed and based on this, provide an assessment of the relevance of key areas in trade facilitation, which future EU interventions can focus on.
Well, we are with a colleague from the program. Could you please tell us your name?
Okay, thank you. I am Helen Apwai with Department of Commerce and Industry. I was the focal point for Component 3, trade facilitation, implementing the activities of Component 3. One of the activities is the procurement of lab equipment, and we are at CPHL, who is one of the beneficiaries of the equipment that was
Thank you. So we will talk directly with the beneficiary. Good afternoon, sir. Where are we now? First, introduce yourself.
Will is my name. My surname is Pora. I'm the acting director for the Central Public and Laboratory. And Central Public Laboratory, as you are now inside here, is the national reference laboratory in the country for all the disease control surveillance and the laboratory diagnosis for public health diseases. So yeah, and basically CPHL has been a beneficiary of the UA trade laboratory capacity building, and it was one of the lab that received the equipment, and basically to help test for food from food sectors, food industries, and complaints for anything that is safe for consumption.
Thank you very much. Do you have already the equipment donated by the European Union operating?
In fact, we had the contract company who came here last time and then did the installment and did the commissioning. But it's yet to be implemented because of some issues related to the operation of the machine.
Have you received some training for the operation of the equipment?
No, there's not been any training conducted for these particular machines, and there is no kind of a kickstart, reagents, consumables. There is no proper kind of information where we would really source information to get the equipment running and also sustain that. It is some things that we were to ask the donors or the EU trade to really assist further on in this.
The main users of the evaluation are the government of PNG and the European Union. It will help to make strategic decisions at the country, sector or global level on programming and planning on trade and economic development.
Just tell us what the equipment is intended to do.
Thank you. I am Junior Halop, one of the junior chemists in the laboratory. You can see this is the new one that was donated by European Union. This is a nitrogen distillation unit, but we have the old one here. As we can compare these two, this is more like efficient than that one.
Did you receive enough training to operate this equipment?
I didn't receive any training, but I just look at the manual, then I start to...
Self-training?
Yeah, self-training.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
So, right now, I did the validation and we are using it. It's operating right.
Additional users of the evaluations include other trade-related stakeholders in the private and public sectors.
Good afternoon. Where are we now?
We're at National Animal Health and Food Testing Laboratory, Nakia.
And who are you, madam? Can you introduce yourself?
I'm Rose Lissania. I am the lab quality manager here in the food testing laboratory.
Okay, what type of support the European Union provided this laboratory through the program?
Okay, we got a lot of equipment, I would say, from a range of equipment to improve our work here in this lab, from real-time PCR to
This equipment arrived recently, right?
Yes, they arrived in November of last year. We got all this equipment. Yeah.
So it's still not operational. You have still to receive support from the supplier to install it. Do you have also in your plan, in the contract with the supplier, some training that is included?
For this project, initially we wanted to get training for this equipment, for the real-time PCR. We were supposed to get training, but unfortunately, I don't think it will be supported through this program, so we are trying our best to get support elsewhere for the training. Also for this PCR, we are yet to refurbish the lab so we can have this installed and get it back. The real-time PCR, we need consumables and all the other stuff to go with it. And training is a big thing. And 1 week, 2 week training is not enough. We want like a month or 2 months training. And this is something new for us. It's molecular biology, so we need more training in that area. And right now we don't have that.
So, Mrs. Manager, you were now telling me about the problem of the software and the key that you need for what?
We got a lot of equipment, but no software that came with it. There's some software that we need to go and download, but then we need to log in to get that software. And also, some equipment came with the software, but we don't have the license key to be able to use that software. So this is the problem that we have.
So if this is a limitation of this contribution, what is the way out or the solution that you think could be found for that?
I think with all this equipment, I think if it came with the software, it will be easy for us in the future when we get equipment. It should come with the software and with the license key as well, so we can use it.
But do you understand that it's important, since you are the beneficiaries, that you specify this at the moment of making the specifications, right?
Yes, I do understand that, but I thought this would be like the ones that we were using. This one is a bit complicated to what we were using previously, that we don't have this data stored in the equipment. We just read it. But this one is a bit complicated. The data is stored in the equipment, which we need to retrieve that, but we don't have the software.
So then, what you have just said is a lesson learned, right?
Yes, it's a lesson.
And then you will help us to provide the right recommendations for future programs like this.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
This short video summarizes the opinion provided to the evaluator at laboratories that were direct beneficiaries of the TRA2. They receive equipment and support to improve their operations and increase the quality of the services they provide to the community.
Good afternoon. Could you please introduce yourself?
My name is Joseph Keragwe. I'm the team leader of this National Agriculture Chemistry Laboratory, and I'll show you where the equipment which were funded by the European Union and where we position them in this laboratory. We are now about to expose them to you.
Okay, so you can show us the equipment and tell us what the equipment is. It will be used for, right?
Okay. We have this instrument, which is a graphite furnace. It's much the same like the other instrument over here, which is the variant AAS, atomic absorption spectrophotometer, and then it does the chemicals, metals, minerals in mostly soil and plant tissues, Over there we use flame, but over here we'll do a furnace. We build up the temperature to extreme, like 3000 degrees, get the atoms to excite, and then we use the instrument to get the molecules and make the measurements.
And what about this equipment?
This is a gas chromatograph MS, which is also brand new in this place. None of us have used this. We'll have to invest a fair amount of resource into getting this one to start before we can start to call clients or business partners to come and assist us to maintain this.
What we were talking before is that you have never done this type of test, so you need some training.
We need definitely assistance to help us to get into this use of that instrument.
Are you satisfied with the support that the supplier provided to you?
We are more than happy, we are more than satisfied that the instrument is here. It will boost our capacity. It will also give ability for us to learn new things and do new things, which is we are optimistic about. But it's the way forward. How do we start? How do we start? We have to have the right approach, the right input, because this is all new to us.
What is this equipment for?
This equipment is a microwave oven digester. It destroys all the organic material into solutions, and with the aid of heating and acids, it completely destroys the organic fraction and then brings all the organics into solution, and from which we take them further into assessing the elemental contents using the various other instruments. With this technique, there is a very good recovery of the metals in the samples.
Okay, thank you.
Papua New Guinea is the largest country in the Pacific region and accounts for 77% of the population, 88% of the land area, and 70% of the total GDP of the region.
Good afternoon. Who are you and where we are?
Good afternoon, my name is Anna Kube, and I work with the metrology in Papua New Guinea under the National Institute of Standards Industrial Technology.
Okay, what this laboratory does and what's the type of support you have received from the TRA2 program?
Okay, this is a temperature laboratory, and we undergo some assistance from the track, and we received a temperature. It's called a SPRT, a standard protocol resistance thermometer. So this particular equipment is used for calibrating temperature devices. Yeah, so this is practically a probe. We were happy that we received this because this will increase our capabilities. We do have probes, but they're not of a reference standard, which is of a higher quality. So this came in through the trap, and we are happy. Our only challenge is the equipment came in. It could have been due to our lack of maybe information. It was supposed to come with an indicator. So we only received a probe, but we're hoping maybe we can sort a device that will support this.
Thank you. And you were also telling us that we are in a completely brand new.
Yes.
That everybody realized that it's empty, but you were telling me that the first thing that arrived from the old building here was directly the equipment donated by the program.
Yes, that's right. We do have other equipments that were in the existing old lab. We have a bath and a few other probes, but like I mentioned, we require SPRT.
But there are other contributions to metrology, right?
Yes.
So we will see.
Definitely, yes.
Include the visit to the Center of Metrology We are in the mass and balance laboratory. As everybody can see, all the equipment that is still to start operating has been provided by the program, and we may ask a final question to the director, to the both colleagues. Can both of you can just tell us what this specific laboratory does and what's going to do when it starts operating the equipment?
Basically, there were 4 items purchased by European Union for this laboratory. 2 are mesh comparators. The other one is the P1 reference mesh. This is the reference mesh that the country has, which is at the top of the pyramid, and this is the highest in the one that we donated by European Union. And we have this one as the cessnagbdso. This one is used to identify the class of the meshes. And here we are with the new deadweight testers that has been purchased by the European Union through the Trade Related Assistance Program. And we have these 2 deadweight testers. This one is the one that will take us through to 1,400 bars, and that one is the one that will take us to 300 bars. We have this equipment here. Is the pressure relief valve test kit. For so long, for over the years, we don't have a facility like the
Although trade and investment have been identified as important components of economic development, trade had not been given the level of focus it deserved until PNG signed the World Trade Organization Trade Facilitation Agreement Treaty in 2013.
My name is Andrew Robo. I am the Senior Chemist QA/QC National Analytical and Testing Services.
What's the name of this laboratory? General Water Lab in the Unitec University in Ley. We will see the equipment provided by the European Union. Okay,
Hot water bath for
explain us what it's for.
it's a hot water bath for incubation of microorganisms when we are quantifying microorganisms in waters.
And this improved the capacity of this lab.
Yes.
That there is something else here, but this came now or in the past?
This is one of the instruments that came with the EU funded equipment.
In this program,
Yes.
last year. Okay.
So this is the one that we are not currently using. We still need training and
So, why is still not in use?
we are not using it because we have the knowledge, but we need to have the training, hands-on training on how to actually run the city.
Okay.
TRA2, financed by the European Union in partnership with the government, helped the country to first, complete institutional so trade institutions can efficiently perform mandate. Second, develop and implement the national trade policy and the international trade agenda. Third, support customs, standardisation and quality compliance bodies to support trade facilitation.